Creeping through the streets with the leak, Timberland cleats. Play the field where we shoot for the stars, ain't hard to reach. Peep the repertoire, skeet off the Thule, dump in the reservoir. Take a swig of Pinot Noir, hop in my foreign car. Bon voyage, I-95, passing the city streets from where we creep in backseat sleep. Watching quantum leap, we play for keeps. Rules of the game, no time for referee. Don't step to me, I slap the clipboard. Ain't no coaching me, cost me plenty, but fortunately, I came at even, far from thieving. Credit card scams, shames, and all misdeeding. Not misleading, team was deceiving. Or the non-believers, streets ain't where you make achievements. Invest in what you most believe in. I left some jewels on my nightstand, and you can keep it. 22's under my bed with covers to sleep with. It's no secret, I'm teaching, niggas only leeching. The streets prey on the weakling seeking, that's how they eating. I'm front seat at the beacon, reeking, I'm probably chiefing. Got a shorty fine, she half black and Puerto Rican. I'm reaching, not for my gun, but for my gap, bitch. I need a black Benz and a chick like Essence Atkins. Let's get it cracking, life is good, I'm so fortunate. Watch out for orphan kids with cold hearts like an abortionist. The road we often miss with twists and turns like contortionists. The block is scorching, kid, you holding heat, you an arsonist. The streets is all a myth, I got some piff that we all can twist. Blow the myth, my hustle content, shit, hand over fist. We take the risk, blow on the dice, put in all your chips. Take my advice, we living right, we can all get rich. Slow down, son, you killing them. Slow down, son, you killing them.
He's a guy I met 2 weeks ago at the Justice Ball.
Is he rich, handsome, rich? And remember, 2 out of 3 isn't bad.
He's sensitive, funny, and he has great taste. Look at these cute bodies.
In a row, foreign daddies with my name and they toes. These daddies announce me, honestly, put the seat back in the Odyssey. Prodigy, little mama, wanna suck in the swallow me, wax ties. Welcome to the Check-In Report. I am your humble host, True and Living. I am in the building. Good to be here. Listen, I know it's been a while. I know I should have been doing more lives, but I'm here. Here. You know, I've been wrapped up with a lot of different things. Just loving life. But we're here to talk about a topic today. Poose and Remy Ma. Poose and Remy Ma. What happened to black love? These two were on a crusade at one point in time. We've all seen the beefs. We've all seen Remy Ma, Easy the Block Captain. We've all seen Carissa Shields and Papoose. He's leveled up with this woman. But what happened to black love? There was a point in time, right? Let's get into this, right? And we're gonna get into the videos at a point in time. But there was a point in time where these two were the antithesis of black love. Let's get into that. Black love. What happened? Look, they had the matching hats. What happened to black love? Remy Ma, why are you talking about this black man in such a disparaging way? Poose, why are you talking about this black woman in such a disparaging way? What happened to black love? What happened to black love? These two were on a crusade at one point. These two were, championing black love. These two were the spokesmen, the co-chairs of black love. And to see them go at each other's necks like this, it's very sad. It's very sad. A lot of people love these two together. And now they're tearing each other down. Poose, he showed that he signed the divorce papers today. Salute to Poose. He wanted to get away from this this Bronx woman. He wanted to get away from this Bronx woman. He wanted to upgrade his life and get away from this Bronx woman. But these two have been going back and forth. Papoose did a series of lives. We're gonna go through some of these lives that he's went through, and we may have to go through the Remy Ma lives too. We may have to go back and forth. But I'm just asking the question: what happened to Black Love? These two. We're gonna get to Diddy and Kid Cudi, but I really just want to know what happened to Black Love. These two. Here we go. We have Remy Ma's. We're gonna go through her some of her lives as well, but these two were the spokes. These two were like the poster childs of Black love, and to me, it's just very disparaging. We're gonna keep that photo on the screen as well. Let me put that photo back where they had the Black love matching hats and whatnot. We're gonna keep that up there. Hold on, we gotta keep that up there. They had a song. They even had a song called Black Love. First the fat boys break up. Now every day I wake up. Somebody got a problem with me. Happened to Black Love. Let's get into who should we get into first? Should we get into Remy Ma, or should we get into they're going back and forth on Instagram. They're clapping at one another. Let's get into Remy Ma first. Let's get into Remy Ma. Now, if you don't know, we're not going to play Clarissa Shields' thing. Actually, maybe we should play Clarissa Shields' thing to give a little context. Let me see if I can find that clip with Clarissa Shields talking about Remy Ma. Let me go on Twitter real quick, because this is where it all started. Remy Ma feels like Clarissa Shields always has her name in her mouth. Clarissa. Let me see if I can find Clarissa Shields. See if I can find that clip. Let me see if I can find it. I know she was on the Breakfast Club, and I did see a little something. This could be it. This could be it. Let me see. No, this is not it. This is not it. That's her boxing. Yeah, she was on the Breakfast Club, and she was talking a little bit about Remy. Let me see. Clarissa Shields' Breakfast. I want to see if I can find that video where she's talking about Remy a little bit. Here we go. I think this may be it right here.
How much motivation did ESPN leaving you off the trailblazing athletes list? How much?
Oh no, this is not it neither. That's the interview. Where is the clip where she's talking about Remy Ma? Well, she's talking about like that whole thing. Let me see. I can't find that clip with Clarissa Shields. Well, all in all, listen, Clarissa Shields, she was on the Breakfast Club, and she talked a little bit about Remy Ma and dealing with that situation. She didn't go too hard, but she did bring up that situation. And Remy Ma didn't like the fact that she brung her up, and that's where this video comes in at. So let's play this first. What happened to Black Love, y'all? What happened to Black Love?
Happy rainy Thursday.
So this was Thursday. Okay, this was today.
Yeah. Thank you. No, you gotta like curl the baby hairs first.
Now let me say something about Bronx women. You can't trust a Bronx chick. Bronx women are some of the most untrustworthy women on the planet. That's just a fact, respectfully. You can't trust Bronx women. Now, I'm not saying, listen, of course, there's always exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, you can't trust Bronx women. They're untrustworthy. They backdoor. They're some of the most sketchy women on the planet, And yes, of course, they all have a past. I don't know a Bronx woman. I don't know a Bronx woman that don't have a past. I don't know a Bronx woman that don't have a past. That's a fact. Let's get back into it.
Duck lips. Hey guys. Good morning. Yes, Gemini season is upon us. It has begun. Gemini gang. Shout out to all my Geminis. Yes, just want to remind y'all, my birthday is coming. It is.
All right, we don't care about your birthday, Rem. Let's get to the meat and potatoes here.
Ain't nothing peeking out the shirt. Y'all so sheesh.
Let me see something. Hold on, y'all. We're trying to get to the meat and potatoes. We don't care about your damn birthday, Rem. Get to the meat and potatoes here. You talking disparagingly about this black man, papoose, that held you down while you was in prison. We want to get to that. Let's get to that. Let's get to that. We don't care about your damn your birthday or whatever you're talking about here. Let's get to the meat and potatoes here. Let's get to this.
Unfortunately, due to circumstances, I can't just move how I want to. I'm not just going to be moving around here knowing that there's paperwork that needs to be signed. Let's be very, very clear.
Well, Remy Ma, he did sign the paperwork. Hold on. Let's go to that. He did sign the paperwork. It's up here. Right here. This says New Jersey Courts of Filing Confirmation. Good afternoon, Shamik. Please see the confirmation email. This looks like divorce paperwork to me. Yeah, this is like divorce paperwork. He signed the paperwork, Remy Ma. So listen, he did the paperwork. There's nothing for you. You can't use that against him no more. He's filed the paperwork, baby girl. He's filed the paperwork. You know. Now, did it take him a while? I'll give it to you, Remy. It took him a while to file that paperwork. But it's done now. It's done now. The deed is done.
Very clear. I am not holding nobody. Listen, I am not holding anybody. I'm not that girl. I'm not the girl that's going to hang on to somebody that doesn't want to be held on to.
I disagree, Remy, because your moves don't make sense. Okay, you're cheating on Papoose, but he's staying with you. You're cheating on Papoose, but you're going through his phone and you're chastising him for being with or sleeping with Clarissa Shields. To me, it seems like both of you are not over one another. This whole charade online tells me that neither one of you are over one another. You know, mostly when people are moved on, they're ready to divorce. They're not doing all of these antics. If you really was over Papoose, Remy Ma, I really think you would be somewhere on vacation, on a beach somewhere with a drink in hand, wind blowing through your hair, enjoying your new lover, enjoying your new life. But what are you doing? You're on Instagram. You're looking bitter, angry, perturbed. You don't look like a woman that has moved on. You don't look like a woman that has found new love. You don't look like a woman that has found a new love interest and that is moving on. So everybody's saying, well, listen, to me, it don't sound like neither one of you guys have moved on. It seems like both of you have, decided to move on, but you guys have not fully, mentally and spiritually moved on from one another. That's a fact.
I'm not the girl that's going to wait while you trying to finish whatever you doing, but that ain't me. That would never be me.
She's lying to herself. Papoose was sleeping on her couch. And she was angry with him because he was texting Clarissa Shields. This is a fact. So clearly you were not over him, and clearly you were not over the situation. If you allowed that to happen, Remy Ma.
I'm out. I've told Papoose. I told them
Salute to Caramel. Salute to Caramel. Caramel said it's the #1 topic nobody's covering yet. Yeah, we have to cover this. We have to cover this. Salute to Caramel. Yeah, we have to keep it a buck here. I don't think neither one of these two have moved on. I think that both of these individuals, there's a thing called the rebound, right? When people are in a relationship and they try to bounce back from that relationship, and they may not necessarily like the person that they rebound with, but it'll do for now. I believe that both of these individuals are in the rebound phase and are easy to block, Captain. I don't think Remy Ma is that head over heels for him. I don't believe that Remy Ma wants to spend the rest of her life with this man. I believe he's just a rebound guy. He's just a guy that was there. He threw some D her way. She was feeling him. He probably reminded her of Papoose, and she opened up the legs to him. And same thing with Papoose. I believe that he's broken hearted over his marriage going awry. Clarissa Shields was a helping hand. She was there to coddle him or to give him some loving or whatever, and he decided to rebound with her. But I don't believe that neither one of these people are rebound fully and feeling like this is who I want to be with for the rest of my life. Salute to Master I Self. Is that FBA? FBA, did you change your username again? Is that FBA or is that Vent? I know that's one of you. Is that FBA or Vent? Master I Self. Is that's either Vent or FBA? I think it's FBA. Yeah, y'all always be changing your names, man. Salute to Master I Self though. We got a mod in the building. Salute. Yeah, but I don't think that neither one of these two have moved on. I think they're both in the rebound phase. Let's get back to the video.
Why don't you tell us? Why don't you tell your current come up? 'Cause that's what it is. Tell your current come up.
You see how she's disrespecting this man? Your current come up. She's saying that Papoose is just an opportunist. He's not dating these women that for love. He's dating these women for an opportunity. Yo, salute, yeah, salute, salute FBA. He says, yeah, this is FBA. Yeah, salute to FBA. Yeah, she's disrespecting this black man. Remember, this is a far cry away from the black love. Like I have to keep this up here. Hold on, I got to keep this picture up here. Please remember for me to keep this picture up here. This is a far cry away from black love. What happened to black love, Remy Ma? Why are you on here disparaging this black man? Y'all had the matching black love hats. They both wear a size 8 and fitted, because they both from New York. New York niggas, they love wearing them big ass fitted caps, oversized fitted caps. Y'all both had your size 8 black love fitted caps, but now you're online disparaging this black man. Now you're online talking badly about this black man. I'm perturbed by this. This is not a great representation of black love. It's not. Let's get back into it.
Don't say nothing about me. Maybe not even say nothing about you until shit is what it is. I'm in here on my TV.
Salute to BX Mel. Let me see what BX Mel says. Hold on. BX Mel, he says, he wrote majority of her rhymes. She's a fraud. Now I did hear that, BX Mel. We're gonna get to that. He claimed to have written most of her rhymes. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I think most of us have already felt like that. When I first heard Shedeur, Because listen, I've been listening to Papoose for a long time. I've been listening to Papoose since the mixtape days, from the street sweeper days, License to Ill, all of the tapes because you got to remember, Papoose at one point in time, he was very big on the mixtape circuit. He was very big in New York on the mixtape circuits. He got a huge deal from Jive Records at one point in time in his career. So he's a phenomenal rapper. But when I heard the record Sheether, right? When I heard the record Sheether, I 1000% knew it was him. I knew in my heart of hearts that Papoose wrote those bars on Sheether. You know? BX Mel says the only thing she loved was her new BBL and image when she got out. Yeah, listen, man. Like I said, you can't trust women from the Bronx. Women from the Bronx, they're sketchy. They backdoor. And listen, I'm not saying every woman from the Bronx, but there's a lot of women from the Bronx that are like this. I don't trust women from the Bronx. Yeah, and she just has a real nasty attitude. She has the prototypical nasty New York girl attitude. I'm not going to sit up here and say that Papoose is the perfect man. I'm not going to sit up here and say that Papoose is just extraordinary man that anybody should want to be with him. Any woman should want to be with him. I'm not going to say that. Everybody has flaws. Nobody's perfect. But come on, Remy Ma. This was your husband. Why are you online disparaging your husband, even if it didn't work out, even if you two couldn't work it out, you two couldn't be together? Why are you choosing now to disparage this man? Why are you taking family matters into the public space, into the public forum? Why are you doing that? This is not a great representation of Black love. What happened to Black love? And she even went to go as far as to say that she said it in one of these videos. Hopefully we'll get to play it. She said in one of these videos that I was never pushing the Black love. That was your thing. I was disgusted at that. She said verbatim that she was never really pushing the Black love thing. She was never really pushing that. Masters, that's Black love. Yeah, she said in one of these videos that she was never really pushing the Black love agenda. She said that was really all him. That was him pushing that. That was very telling, and I was like, wow, yo, this woman is nasty. I'm thinking like this is something that you guys, you both are Black individuals. You two are Black African Americans, and you're pushing this Black love, and I thought it was a beautiful thing, and now you're telling me that no, I was never really on it like that. That was all him. I'm not with all that Black love. That was sad to hear. Black love is a beautiful thing.
TVs, me and my daughter, we have the same name. She looks at everything. I'm in here putting certain things in so that when she's scrolling through YouTube, certain things don't come up, and I gotta try to explain to her. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing anything extra. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to prove to nobody who I'm with or what I'm doing, because that's not what I do. That's not what I do. Like, nobody shouldn't have any ill will towards me, because I ain't do nothing to nobody. Nobody. And
you cheated on your husband. What are you talking about? What is wrong with this woman? Remy Ma, if you're gonna say, because I think what she tries to say is that Papoose had women already. Papoose was cheating. This is what she says. Even though we still have yet to see proof of this, you know, we have no proof. The only woman that we have seen Papoose linked with is Clarissa Shields and Remy Ma. But she keeps saying that Papoose cheated before and yada, yada, yada. We've still seen no proof of this. And at the end of the day, Remy, he did not go public with the cheating. He did not embarrass you. Let's say hypothetically Papoose did cheat on you, Remy Ma. Let's say hypothetically he did step out on you. He did not go public with the cheating. He wasn't at Cheesecake Factory eating meals. Like remember that photograph? Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. Remy Ma, Easy the Block Captain. It was at like Cheesecake Factory or something like that. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on. Cheesecake. It was at some cheesy. Let me see if I can find that clip. Hold on. Easy the Block Captain at restaurant. Hold on, restaurant. Hold on. Let me see. On a date. Yeah, photo of Remy Ma and Easy the Block Captain on a date. Where's it at? Oh, where's it at? Why are they telling me it's not here? Yeah, they were on a date together somewhere. I don't know why I can't just see the video. Hold on. Not the video. It's like a here you go. Yeah, this is it right here. Easy the Block Captain and Remy Ma on a date. They were on a date together. You know, they were out, you know, having a nice little Cheesecake Factory meal. And, you know, you went public with this, Remy Ma. You went public with this. Papoose never went public with disrespecting you. He never went public with denigrating you. We've never seen Papoose. This is what you have to, and you know, this is the problem with a lot of women. They don't want to take accountability. She just said in the video, I did nothing wrong. I didn't do nothing to nobody. You disrespected your husband. You desecrated the sanctity of your marriage. And even at the tiniest shred, Remy Ma, you disrespected the public image of your marriage. If you want to cheat and do all this dirt, cool. But why? Why, oh, why were you out in public spaces disrespecting your man? Yeah, you know. Master says, what the hell is a block captain though? I've never seen a block captain in my life or on my block. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's like a battle rapper, I guess. I don't know. I stopped paying attention to battle rap for a while. Yeah, but at the least bit, she disrespected her marriage. But she's on this video saying that she didn't do anything wrong, but you clearly did something wrong. You clearly did something wrong. We're looking at it.
In the whole situation, she had any ill will towards me. Nobody. I mean, you're just mad. You're punching the air. That my air. I've never breathed so freely in my life. Okay. And
this is prime example why you can't, like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it 100. Keep it 100. Keep it 100. Keep it 100, y'all. Do not wife up a chick from the Bronx. I'm gonna even go as far to say, do not wife up a chick from New York. Go find you a Southern gal, down home gal. Go find you a girl from, you know, another place in America, bro. These New York women, this is just a turn off for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like any New York women, this is just a turn off. This is a bad look for New York women, in my opinion. Like, this is just a bad look. If this is the representation of how New York women are, how they act, the narcissism, the ignorance, the pride, the ego, the lack of accountability, the no respect for your marriage. This is just an absolute turnoff when it comes to New York women. New York women, you already have the stigma of talking like a plumber. New York women, they sound like plumbers. They sound like mechanics. All the aggressive talking and talking with your hands and all that. A nigga tell a New York girl, hey, put on something nice. I'm gonna take you out to dinner. She throwing on Timberlands. New York women, they already have the stigma. Then when you add the ego, the pride, the narcissism, it's a turnoff. It's a turnoff. And this is why nobody's checking for New York women like that. Don't get me wrong. You may have an Ice Spice or, a girl here or a girl there. But majority, I'm saying based off of personality, off of the looks, yeah, there's niggas that's going to smash some New York girls. Because New York got some nice looking women. They got some attractive looking women. But I'm talking in terms of building a family, building a home, having a relationship, making someone a wife. Niggas ain't checking for New York girls like that. I'm going to keep it a buck. Niggas is not checking for New York girls like that. Yes, are you good for a smash out session? Absolutely. Are you good enough for just to smash you out? A nice little date, I take you out to, a nice little spot, little cheesecake factory and get smashed out. Cool. Maybe a nice little date at the movies. Cool. But am I trying to make a New York girl a wife? Am I trying to make a New York girl my everything? And no, niggas ain't doing that for New York women. Caramel says entitlement. Yes, she's very entitled. She's very entitled. Master says Timbo's in the summer with light ass jeans. That's a fact. New York women, they already have that stigma, and Remy Ma is not helping the case. She's not helping the case.
Couldn't take it anymore. I said, hey, this ain't what it is. We can't keep doing this. We talking about people being truthful. Truthful?
Be truthful. Be truthful. You cheated on your husband. And that's another thing with women that I don't respect. When you get married, right? When you get married, now listen, I understand marriage is not easy, and I've never been married. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not talking as an experienced person in this field. But I do understand what vows are, and I do understand the sanctity of a marriage. When people get married, they take vows for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, sick and in health. What happened to the vows? Did that oath mean anything to you? Did those vows mean anything to you? Did they speak to your heart? Did you really mean them when you decided to get married? Or was it just something that you just read off a paper and didn't think twice about? No marriage is easy. No relationship is easy. You're going to have rough patches. You're going to have good times. You're going to have sad times. But it's indicative of working these things out. Get over yourself, Remy Ma. But while watching this video, she's clearly not over herself. And I'm not saying Papoose is not guilty of the same. I'm sure he's probably full of himself as well. I'm not trying to just say it's all Rem, because it's probably Papoose as well. But, you know, I'm trying to figure out, did those vows mean anything? Because when people get divorced and when people decide to separate, it makes me wonder, did you mean those vows? Did you actually mean those vows? Did you actually really believe in those things when you were saying that? Because if you're turning away from this person as soon as things get bad, then I don't believe you really believed in those vows.
The truth, you will probably literally, like, people will cry if they knew the truth. Like, literally cry. Like, cry. 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 I look at it now, and I feel sorry for old girl. Like, I feel sorry for her. Because I know the circles that's being ran and wrapped around over there. Like, I would cry. I feel bad.
What happened to black love, man?
I feel bad. Stop calling me. Stop calling me. Stop calling me. Stop calling me. Hello.
You hear her? Do you hear the nasty attitude? Now just imagine. This is what Papoose had to deal with. Stop calling me. Stop calling me. Bitch. There's people probably calling you. Family, friends that care about you, care about this marriage, care about the family, care about this union. But all she cares about is herself. She's narcissistic, prideful, has no regard of anyone but herself. Stop calling me. Let's continue.
Hello? Oh, I'm on live. I thought you was calling me to tell me to get off live.
They should have been telling you to call. They should have been telling you to get your ass off live. Because you ain't talking about nothing.
No, I'll call you back.
That's probably easy to block, Captain.
How am I going outside? Because I'm not...
He wanted to know if he left his fitted cap at her home. Did I leave my fitted cap at your house, girl? Yeah, I had a stanky Yankee. I want to know if I left it at your home. Yeah, size 8.
Sitting here telling y'all everything that happened. That in a marriage, if you've never been married, you understand? If you've never been married, you wouldn't understand the bond that's supposed to be between two people.
Bitch, when you get married, it's for richer or for poor, sicker in health, better or for worse. The vows weren't, well, listen, when things are good, I'm going to stay, but when things are bad, I'm going to leave. That's not the vow you took. Remy Ma, you didn't take a vow to Papoose. Hey, Papoose, when you're making money and you're making me happy, I'm going to stay. But as soon as I find a dusty battle rapper to sleep with, I'm going to leave you. That is not the vow you took, woman. It's not the vow you took. Where's the respect for your husband? Where's the respect for your family? Where's the respect for your marriage? You're full of yourself. Get over yourself.
Between two people. You wouldn't understand that. You wouldn't understand, hold on, what you said? Listen. I know what people care about. That man, he cares about what y'all think. I don't care about what y'all think. Like, not, unfortunately, not.
Clearly you do. Clearly you do care what we think, because if you didn't care what we think, you would not be making this video. You would be saying, you know what? I don't give a damn what people think. I'm not going to make a live. I'm not going to get online. I'm not going to talk this. I'm not going to talk that. I am going to move on with my life with Easy the Block Captain and live my best life. I'm going to file the divorce papers and move on with my life. Clearly you care. Because if you didn't care, you wouldn't be on this live. You wouldn't be talking to people. You wouldn't be feeding your ego. You wouldn't be doing none of this. If you truly didn't care, you would be somewhere on a beach, on vacation with your new man, enjoying your life. You would have let your lawyers handle the divorce proceedings, and you would be living your best life. But what are you doing? You're on live. You're disparaging your ex-husband. You got little chatty patty women in the comment section feeding your ego. Because you want this. This is what you want. You want the ratchetness. You want the gossip. You want the tea. You want the drama. You want this. You want this. You want this.
I'm not trying to be funny. I appreciate my fans and people that are actually my fans and that love me. You understand? But
Remy Ma fans? Are there really any Remy Ma fans? Can we keep it a buck? No disrespect. Listen, back in the day, what was Remy Ma popping? What was that? 04, 05, 06? Whenever that was, before she went to jail. Listen, she had a little buzz. But you know, I'm gonna be honest. Remy Ma fans in 2025, I mean, are we really, you know, speaking about Remy Ma in the same breath as a Nicki Minaj, the Meg Thee Stallions, the Doja Cats? I mean, we're not really speaking about her in that lane. The Lottos, we're not really speaking about her. Nobody really cares about her music. Nobody's checking for her music. If you ask any girl between the age of 20 to 25, they probably can't name one Remy Ma song. Are there really Remy Ma fans like that? Let's be real. I would say no.
I don't care what people think. Can't nobody with a revolving door on a coochie tell me I'm for the streets. I've been with the same man. I was with the same man for almost 20 years.
So is that why you cheated? Because we still have yet to get to the meat and potato, and she's never really gonna tell us, why did you cheat on Papoose? Why did you cheat on the man that you were with for 20 years for Easy the Black Captain? Why'd you do that? Why can't she just keep it a buck? Why can't she just say, hey, Papoose, he wasn't hitting it right no more. I wanted to move on. Or Papoose, he didn't make me feel loved, so I moved on with another man. Just keep it real, Remy. What happened? Why'd you cheat on Pat? Why'd you cheat?
Can't nobody tell me I'm for the street and make me feel some type of way.
If you cheat on your husband, you are for the streets. Remy Ma, you don't get to dictate the terms of engagement when it comes to the streets. Anytime a woman cheats on her husband, you are for the streets. You allowed another man to enter into your galaxy. You allowed another man that you are not wed to, another man that you do not have children with. You allowed another man to enter into your married womb. Remy Ma, you are for the streets. You don't get to dictate the terms of engagement when it comes to the streets. The moment that you decided to have relations with a man that was not your husband, you became for the streets. That's a fact. Fire, 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 fire. You don't dictate the rules of engagement when it comes to the streets. You're a married woman. You're supposed to be laid up with your husband. You're supposed to be going to, ballet recitals with your daughter. You're supposed to be doing family dinners with your family. You laid up with some battle rapper with a size 8 fitted cap, cheating on your husband. You are for the streets, Remy Ma. You don't get to dictate the rules of engagements when it comes to the streets. You for the streets. It's a fact.
Are you crazy? Can't nobody tell me, oh, you fumbled it. It's so funny watching people like, you had a good husband. See,
she's disparaging that black man, you know? She's telling people, you're disparaging that black man. Now, Remy Ma, tell us why he's a bad black man. Tell us why he's not a good man for you. Tell us why.
He only had one wife. The only person that can tell y'all if he's a good husband or not.
So tell us that he's not a good husband. What did he do? Why is he not a good husband, Remy? Tell us.
And when he was, I told y'all that.
Oh, so he was, but I guess you just wasn't feeling him no more. So that's what it was. It wasn't necessarily that he stopped being a good husband. You just stopped caring that he was a good husband. Because you're not telling us verbatim, hey, he's a bad husband. Hey, he did this. Hey, he did that. This is why he's a bad husband. He just stopped being someone you liked. Not necessarily stopped being a good husband. Very interesting. Very interesting.
I told y'all. When she was cool, when she was like, when it was what I thought it was, I kept it a bean. When it's not, when it wasn't, I ain't say nothing. I dealt with it. I ain't never met a bitch. I've been waiting for somebody to just use a little bit of common sense. I ain't never met a female who has a perfect dude that takes care of her, helps her financially, emotionally, physically, is there for you, treats you like this wonderful thing, right? And you just say, you know what? I don't care.
That's an absolute falsity. That's an absolute falsity. A woman can have all of those things. Let me speak to you, brothers, because we're gonna really talk tonight. We're gonna talk tonight. A woman can have all of those things. She could be financially taken care of. She could feel loved at home. She could have all of the things that she would want in life, right? Financial, feeling loved, the family, a man supporting her in business and whatever she's doing. A man could give a woman all of that. Do you know what a woman will say? Do you know what a woman will say after she has received all of that? It's not enough. It's not enough. It's simply not enough. You can't make a bitch happy. Monetarily, you can make her happy. You can make her smile. You can give her the things that she desires. But at some point, things are going to go awry. At some point, she's going to feel unfulfilled in some form or fashion. She's going to feel unloved, unfulfilled. She's going to feel some resentment towards you at some point. You can't make a bitch happy. That's the reality of the situation. So all of this, I never met a woman who had all of these things, a man to do this and a man to do that and this, that, and the third, and she just wants to cheat. That's a falsity. That's a falsity. Because we know the opposite of that is true as well. We know that a man could have a good girl that treats him well, that cooks for him, that cleans for him, that takes care of takes care of the kids and the family. That's the perfect girl. She's a beautiful dime piece. She provides all his sexual needs, and that man will still cheat. We know the opposite of that is true as well. So of course it's indicative of women as well. Now, I'm not saying papoose was those things, but to say that I never know a woman that would do that, that's a falsity. That's a falsity. Let's continue though.
Fuck this whole shit. Who does that? Nobody.
You would do it.
Nobody. Oh, everyone looks so much happier now. Girl, man. Don't know.
I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button for me, y'all. Hit that like button. We got 7 likes in the building. I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button and subscribe button.
Nobody fall in love faster than somebody with nowhere to stay.
She's disparaging that black man even more. She's saying that nobody falls in love like somebody that doesn't have somewhere to stay.
The fuck?
Wow.
The fuck? I literally told him, every time you come up,
I'm gonna keep it real. No disrespect to Dr. Umar. Listen, I got a lot of love for black women, but I'm gonna say it. I got a lot of love for black women. Got a lot of respect for black women. Got a lot of love for them. I believe in black love, but I gotta keep it a buck. Dr. Umar, you are absolutely 1,000% out of your mind. Because I'm going to be honest with you, as a black man, this is turning me off. To hear this black woman disparage this black man, denigrate this black man. This is a man that she's been with. Listen, I understand people fall out of love. I understand, I get it. But this is an absolute turnoff. And I'm not saying every black woman is like this. Remy Ma is not a representation of every black woman in America. That's a falsity, right? We can't generalize all black women like that, right? And of course, she's a New York Bronx woman, which takes her down further on the totem pole. But yeah, this is a turnoff, bro. This is a turnoff. Like, if this was the representation of what black women are, if this was the representation of how black women resolve issues in marriage, this is a turnoff. It's a turnoff. And I could see how black men would see something like this or see a scenario like this and would say, you know what? Maybe I want to date a woman of another race. Maybe I want to date a woman of another culture. Because if this is how you handle a marriage, if this is how you handle a rough patch in a marriage, if this is how you handle a divorce, and I'm not saying that women of other cultures don't have this in their spirit, that women of other cultures are not capable of this. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the nature of how she's doing it, why she's doing it, the arrogance, the nasty attitude, the disparaging statements about that black man that is her husband or former husband and the father of her child. It's a turnoff for me. Let's continue though.
Current come up, says my name, or does something.
And she keeps referring to Clarissa Shields as Papoose's current come up, which is absolutely disparaging towards him as well.
Thing that I feel is trying to attack me in any type of way, I'ma drag you. And I haven't even been dragging them. Bad enough, you got my daughter's mom out here looking crazy because you refuse to tell people, hey, me and Rem haven't even slept in the same bed since May 2022. You don't want to tell nobody that. You were so wrapped up in the whole black love thing. That was your thing.
We got to get to that. Hold on.
That was the only thing you had. And I realized
Let me stop that. Now, did you hear what she said? Did y'all hear what she said? You was wrapped up in the whole black love thing. What? You was wrapped up in the whole black love. So this tells me she was never pushing that black love. She was never rocking with that black love. She's saying that Papoose was the one pushing that. I wasn't pushing that. I didn't believe in all that. That was your thing. That wasn't my thing. That was your thing. Disrespecting black love, disparaging this black man. Now, like I said, for any black man watching this, and I'm gonna have to keep saying this because some people will only take the negative things that I'm saying and harp on the negative things that I'm saying and won't take the full message. They'll hear me compare Remy Ma and compare it to how, you know, black women move in relationships, but they won't hear when I'm saying, hey, you know, all women of all races are capable of this. But, you know, I understand why black men see how women, you know, of color react in relationships and why they go to different races. I can see why. Because if this is what you would get, then this turns me off. This turns me all the way off. For her to disrespect this black man, disrespect black love, it's just disparaging. It's just disparaging. Now let's get into Papoose, because I think I've heard enough of her. We've been listening to this. We've been listening to this. We'll listen to this woman for enough. Let me see what Papoose is talking about. My nigga did like 3-4 streams. See what he talk about.
What's going on? I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes.
Of course, Papoose had his size 7'8" fitted cap on, you know. Hold on.
Sometimes when you're on live and people start calling you, man, they mess the live up, you heard? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes to come in here. All right, cool. First and foremost, everybody who know me, let's keep it 100. Everybody who know me, you know I don't do this. I don't do none of this corniness.
And I will say on Papoose's behalf, you know, he hasn't really been going hard online. It's really been Rem. Rem was really the first one to take it online. For a long time, Papoose, I give him credit. He was quiet for a very long time about this situation. Even when the whole knockout of Easy the Block Captain happened, he didn't do any interviews. He wasn't going around telling people anything. Of course, the rumors were circulating, but he was, for the most part, quiet. It was really Remy Ma doing extra. You know, she was the one, you know, out on dates with Easy the Block Captain. She was the one going to battle rap events and every battle rapper having that in the line. She was the one doing a lot, which ultimately, you know, this is why we're here now. So I will give Papoose credit and say he was not the one who really was outspoken first. It was really Remy Ma who was outspoken first.
Can y'all hear me? All right, cool. Everybody who know me, y'all know my style. She came on here claiming that, oh, everybody, I don't do this. Yes, you do. This is exactly the only.
One second, because BX Mel, he said something interesting. He said, Papoose, he should have listened to K Slay about Remy Ma. Now, there is a story that I did hear that K Slay did warn Papoose about Remy Ma. I did hear that he was like, you know, she's kind of rough around the edges, and you know, allegedly, Wack. I think even Wack said this at one point. Wack alluded to her being with another rapper at that particular time. Papoose had met her, and I do believe that K Slay did say something to Papoose, but you know, Papoose was probably just young and in love, and you know, he was feeling her, I guess. But I agree with that. I do think K Slay tried to warn, and rest in peace to K Slay, the drama king. I think he did try to warn Papoose about Remy Ma, because of Remy Ma, listen, man, he's a little rough around the edges, and I couldn't see even back when. I couldn't see myself trying to build a family with Remy Ma. Like, I don't know, man. She just rubs me the wrong way. She really does. She rubs me the wrong way. But let's continue.
Only thing you do. You know what I mean? Normally, I wouldn't even entertain this, but the fact that you mentioned my children, I'm not letting that ride.
Oh,
Since this whole situation happened, everybody know I never said nothing. The only time I said something was the last time when she tried to clout chase with the whole fake thing she tried to put on Instagram before. But ever since this transpired, I never opened my mouth, never said nothing because that's not my style. And also, I would never want to disrespect her. You know what I mean? Actions speak way louder than words.
I'm gonna shoot him some bell. You know, he's right so far. He's right. He has not been going crazy with disrespecting her. He was just speaking facts. I give him that.
Initially, when it transpired, which was 2022, when she started dealing with the lane.
Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me grab something real quick. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna let this play.
That wasn't the first time I caught her cheating. I've caught her cheating numerous times since she's been home. With the lane, the reason, but hold on, let's get to the point. We're gonna get to the lane later. You had the audacity to mention my child, and you had the audacity to mention me not seeing my daughter, when ever since I left, she has not allowed me to see my daughter. She's been straight miserable. I'm gonna say it again. All men out there who ever been through this type of situation, you know how it gets when you're dealing with a miserable individual. She did not allow me to see my daughter since this first transpired at the end of last year. Blatantly, I went to pick my daughter up from school. When I went to pick my daughter up from school, Diamond was picking my daughter up because that's who has my daughter all the time. And that was one of the biggest issues I had with her, because all my daughter know is mommy and daddy. She was raised with both parents. That's all she know from day one, since the womb. Our entire lives has been documented. What goes on with these celebrities is they like when y'all come on their page and y'all like their posts. They like when y'all spend y'all money on their concerts, on their music. They like when y'all make them rich. So y'all become fans and y'all follow the journey of these celebrities for years and years and years, right? As y'all follow the journey of these celebrities, you basically become a part of their life, because you've been following them for 10 years, 15 years sometimes. You've been a fan of a celebrity or artist. But soon as something happens, the first thing they say to the fans is, you don't know me, right? Soon as something get out there bad that they don't want you to know about, the first thing they say is, oh, you don't know my life? Yes, they do. They know you y'all know us very well. And the reason why I'm saying that is because don't allow none of these celebrities to fool you. When you hear a rumor that comes out, it's true. We are human, just like y'all, the audience, the supporters, the fans. So now you have a person here who life has been documented for decades through the fans watching us, seeing when she got incarcerated. Watch me visit her every day for a year straight. Watch me bring her 35 pounds of food a month. Watch me hold her down. Watch me in the courtroom getting into altercations with court officers over her. Witness when she came home. Witness me go build the anticipation for her to come out of prison. Had a different artist do a drop every single day. Oh, the queen is coming, the return of the queen, right? All the fans witnessed this. Witnessed her come home. Witnessed us have the big wedding ceremony, followed our entire journey. Never trust a celebrity who erased their Instagram. You ever notice I never erased nothing on my page? All you gotta do is scroll down. The same page that she utilized today to lie for an hour straight and tell all these fabricated stories.
What I missed so far? What I missed?
You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. We'll get back to that later. I went to pick my daughter up from school. Let's There's a young lady who was picking my daughter up from school. And I notified her, hey, I called her, I said, hey, I'm coming to pick her up. I picked up my daughter, gave her a hug, gave her a kiss, and show things you do when you see your child. Embrace my child. And I had to go take care of something that day. So after I seen my daughter, I just wanted to see her and hug her because everything had been going on. I hadn't seen her in a little while. After I left, I think the next day or next two went by, she contacted me. Hey, you haven't seen your daughter since New Year's. I said, excuse me? I just seen my daughter yesterday. I just picked her from school. What are you talking about? She didn't even know that I seen my daughter. You know why? Because she's never there with my daughter. She is never there with my child. And it's crazy that you have the audacity to open your mouth and say that I haven't seen my daughter.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Remy Ma does strike me as somebody who doesn't spend a lot of time with her children. She's like one of those types of mothers that's just too into herself to be into her children. Respectfully. Now, I'm not gonna talk about her parenting skills. I don't know her parenting skills. I'm talking about how she strikes me. She strikes me as one of those mothers, and I've seen these types of mothers in the neighborhood before, that they're just too into themselves. They're too into how they look, what they're dressing like, their careers. They're too into their hair, their makeup, what dudes they're dating. They're too involved in themselves. They're not involved in their kids' lives. They're not, around. They're not. She strikes me as one of those mothers that's just a little too into herself to be into what her kids are doing. Now, I'm just saying this how she strikes me. This may not be true. I don't know. I'm not there every day. I'm not with Remy Ma and Papoose every day. But she does strike me as one of those types of mothers.
Not only due to the fact that you didn't allow me to see her, since I finally got tired of your lies, tired of your narcissism and moved on. But the fact that...
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Calling a woman a narcissist, it just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Because, Papoose, you sound like a victim. I'm going to be honest with you. You sound like a victim. When you call a woman a narcissist, it just sounds like she's like, what is she like playing like mental games on you and whatnot? I don't know. Something about a man calling a woman a narcissist just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is. I just don't like hearing it. I don't like hearing it. But listen, if he feels like she's a narcissist, okay. But it does kind of makes my ears perk up a little bit. Like, why are you calling a woman a narcissist? I'm not used to hearing a woman being called a narcissist, but okay, let's go with it.
While you was running out here cheating with this lame, not only cheating with this lame,
What's good with the mic? What's going on with the mic?
allowed him to destroy your entire life. You use all you talking this money talk.
I think he messed up something with the mic. I don't know.
Use all of your money. And I want y'all to know this.
All right, here we go.
Because I know a lot of people, I don't want to come across as I'm upset. But you know what? I am upset.
You got this T-Mobile microphone. What is going on with his mic?
You know why I'm upset? Because you mentioned my children.
See, you know what? I could tell that Papoose ain't used to this because he can't even get the mic situation right. He's not used to this. He's not. This is not his environment. His environment is not gossip tea and do rants on IG Live. I could tell. Anybody that you saw how when Remy Ma was up there, that mic sounded pristine. She could have done a podcast on that mic. She's used to this. She's used to the drama. She's used to the ratchetness and going public. Papoose, he seems like he's not used to this. He don't know how to get the mic situated right. He don't know how to make sure we hear everything he's saying and like he's not used to this. He's not used to this. Papoose ain't used to this. Remy Ma is used to this. She's used to dragging niggas online. She's used to this. She's used to the ratchetness. So I'm kind of Team Pap right now.
You had the audacity to mention my children.
He got to get the mic situation right. Let's get the mic situation right, Pap.
And you had the audacity.
There we go.
Can y'all hear me? Because some people complaining about the audio.
Yeah, we can hear you now, nigga.
Can y'all hear me?
See, the thing about New York niggas, they gonna get the fitted cap right. You know, they gotta get the fitted cap right. You gotta get the oversized fitted cap right. They gotta make sure the fitted match what they're wearing. But you know, they're not trying to get that microphone ready. You know, they don't want to get that microphone so we can hear them properly. They got the fitted cap ready. They got the fit ready, but they don't got the microphone set up so we can hear them properly. That's the thing with these New York niggas, man.
Let me know if y'all can hear me. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, nigga.
If you can hear me, let me know. There's a few people saying they can't hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me.
Hold on. Master says she called Pap a wife. Did you hear her live? Yeah, I did see that where she called Papoose a wife. You know, she's just disrespectful. And that's why I can't see how anybody would want a woman like Remy Ma, man. She's just disrespectful. See, some people, they're into that. They like, you know, loud, disrespectful women. Some people are like that. You know, some people are into that. Me personally, I'm not into that. I'm not into that disrespectful, loud mouth. You know, I'm not into that. You know, it might turn you on during sex, you know, but after the sex is over and you laid down your burdens and she got this smart mouth, we'll see how long that lasts. We'll see how long you'll find that cute. At a certain point, it's just gonna piss you off. At a certain point, you're just gonna be tired of her. At a certain point, it's gonna be like, "Well, you should just shut up, bitch." Let me keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. Yeah, you know, she's very disrespectful. She's saying a lot of disrespectful and disparaging words about this black man. It's absolutely deplorable.
I'm not covering the mic. Y'all saying I'm covering the mic. I let it go now. It's good? Brooklyn Jad in here. Jad, can you hear me? All right, now, yes. Okay, cool. Like I said earlier, for those who just came on the live, everybody who know me, and I'm talking about speaking with my actions, I don't do this. I don't clout chase. I never come on social media talking about anything. Even when I got stabbed in my back by the person that I moved mountains for, fought battles, did everything, was super loyal to. I still didn't slander you. I still didn't say nothing. I just kept it moving. But you had the audacity to mention my children. So since you want to mention my children, and that I can't let ride. A lot of people like, yo, Pat, that's not you. Don't entertain it. You know what I'm saying? People see through it. She's bitter. She's miserable. Yeah. That's a fact, but you mentioned my children, and that I'm not letting ride. So with that being said, you abandoned my child for months, for days at a time, knowing she had to go to school the next day, knowing I had to go to work the next day since you want to get up on you and say, oh, you don't have a job. Because you know, when I got the executive position.
Did Remy Ma abandon her children? We need to know. Did she abandon her children?
In that tune call initially, knowing I had to go to work the next day, knowing my daughter had to go to school, you stayed out with the lane. You stayed out with the lane. You want to talk, and you stayed out with the lane while your daughter was crying for you. Tears. Also, she wanted to talk about all of this money talk and all of this and what I don't got and what I got. Since I met her, I have written 90% of the rhymes that came out of her mouth.
Fire! Remy Ma. Remy Ma. Did Papoose... This is all I want to know, because I don't think Remy Ma is a good rapper. All I want to know is this. Remy Ma, Sheether. Remy Ma, did Papoose write Sheether? Because I've been thinking for years that Papoose wrote this diss record. Now, if you don't know Sheether, this was a diss record that came out on Nicki Minaj a couple years ago. And it was pretty good. It was really good. But I always felt that, because I've heard Remy rap before. She's not a good rapper. She's never been a good rapper. Never been really technical. Never really been like one of the best rappers, right? But this was a hard blow. She had some great lines in this song. I always thought, I think Papoose wrote this thing. Of course, he's probably not going to be in the credits. Yeah, I don't see him in the credits. Yeah, I don't see him in the credits. Yeah, but I always thought that he wrote this record. So now he's saying that he wrote 90% of her rhymes. That's a lot of rhymes he wrote then, if that's the case. So I always thought he wrote Shedeur, the diss record against Nicki Minaj. So he's pretty much confirming that he wrote 90% of her rhymes, which probably would include Shedeur.
And with me saying that, I want to say this to y'all. Anyone who has an iPhone, you know how iPhones work. When I was younger, I used to be able to write rhymes in my head, create rhymes in my head, and remember them. Just like that. As time went on, I got a little older, I started to write rhymes in my email draft. Now, if you have an iPhone, you go in your email draft. If anybody come around me, and we're in the flesh next to each other, I can type in any word from one of her songs, and her entire rap will come up. The entire verse will come up. I never asked for a penny. I never asked for credit. She was my wife. I didn't want anything from her. I just wanted to see her win. Like I said, I have written 90% of the rhymes that came out of her mouth since I met her. Y'all said it. Y'all said it numerous times. Oh, we know that's Pap behind that pen. Did I ever agree with y'all? Did I ever put it out there? I never said I wrote her rhymes. I left it. I didn't need the credit. All I wanted her to do was win. Wrote the rhymes, did the contracts, security, the whole shit.
Wow.
So you fabricating these stories, and it's very weird that you're talking all of this money talk, but in your background, it's everything that I bought. All of the utilities are in my name. So all of this fabrication about, oh, he don't pay no bills, oh, he don't do this, he don't do that. If you analyze her live, the whole thing is about all of this money talk. Why? Because she wants y'all to think that she's this big shot. I don't need to come up here and perpetrate no fraud like I'm a big shot, like I'm this and I'm that. For the simple fact that I speak with my actions. You want to talk about black love? Anybody who follow me, they know I've always been pro-black and had knowledge of self since I was a teenager. So I've represented that since I came in the door before I even knew you. Okay? So don't ever talk about black love and what else she said? I gotta remember. So, first and foremost, very bipolar, very delusional. This is a person.
Papoose, like I'm agreeing with a lot of things you're saying. I'm rocking with a lot of things you're saying. You're making sense on a lot of things you're saying. But the underlining thing here, Papoose, that we have to address here, and it's like the elephant in the room, Papoose. It really is. To me, it's the elephant in the room for me. Because I agree with a lot of things you're saying. I agree. I think your character analysis of Remy Ma is on point. I think that I do think that she thinks that she's a big shot. I do think that she's narcissistic, as you say, full of herself. I agree with a lot of these things, Papoose, but the elephant in the room is this, Pat, that we got to talk about it. You decided to wife this woman up. I don't believe that, in the last 2 or 3 years that you just finally discovered that she's narcissistic, that you finally discovered that she's full of herself, that you finally discovered that she's bipolar. I believe you knew full and well what you signed up for, Papoose. That's the elephant in the room here. Because you can say all of these things about her. You can say all of these things. She's bipolar. She's full of herself. She's narcissistic. She's a liar, manipulator. You can say all these things about her. But at the end of the day, Papoose, you've been with this woman for 20 years. I don't believe that you just discovered these things yesterday. I believe that these things that you've been know this stuff. You've known these things in your heart, and yeah, you probably loved her, and you probably were willing to put these things to the side for the moment. But ultimately, you decide to make an honest woman out of this Bronx chicken head. Am I clear with that analysis, Elise? I believe that's a pretty good analysis here. You decided to make an honest woman out of this Bronx chicken head, and the chickens have come home to roost, I guess. I don't know what to say about that, but let's get back into it.
Person who will sit in front of you, she will post that live, and she'll say later, I didn't do that. I wasn't on live. You'll be sitting there like, huh? She will say something to you, and 10 minutes later say, I never said that. Everybody, and I don't want to talk bad about her, man.
Well, it's a little too late now because you're here and you're doing it. It's too late now. It's too late now. You're already here. You're doing it. Don't tell us that you don't want to talk bad about her when you're on here talking bad about her.
That's something that I never wanted to do. That's why when this took place, when she first got caught cheating with the lame, I brought it to her attention. I said, first of all, I couldn't even.
How do you bring that to a woman's attention? How do you bring that to your wife's attention that you realize that she's cheating? And I'm not trying to make fun of Pat, but to me, for a lot of men, that will be grounds for divorce. I found out that you're cheating. We have nothing to talk about. It's time for me to move on. Go be with that dude. Most men, they're going to bring it to their woman's attention. Like, yo, I found out, but that's going to be the end all be all. I found out, it's over. Papoose found out about it, and he decided to work things out. He decided to get therapy. He decided to get, some counseling and try to make things work with Remy Ma. For some men, that would be, no, I don't want to work things out. I don't want to talk things over. For most men, that would be the end all be all. Most men, when they find out that their girls have cheated, that their women have cheated, they're done. They're done. They're not trying to work things out, figure things out. I'm just keeping it real. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people in marriage, they decide to work things out. When someone has cheated, but I'm gonna be honest, most men, when they find out that their girlfriend or their wives have cheated, they're pretty much emotionally divested. Most men. He decided to stay, and I'm not knocking him for that because this is his wife. He does have children, and I will say, and I will shoot him a little bit of bell here. When you have kids, it's a little bit harder to just up and leave. If you're just newly married for a few years, you don't have any kids, it's easier to up and leave. When you have kids, it's not as easy to just up and leave. I will shoot him a little bit bell on that one. But let's get back into it.
Believe that she was stooped that low because he's such a cornball. Y'all see it? Y'all say it yourself. I'm like, yo, it's no way it's this nigga. Because I'm trying to figure it out. Like, damn, who is this nigga? Because, we were living a...
1 second, y'all. I see Master and he's sitting there laughing. I just want to put him up there.
A normal, peaceful life, raising our child like we planned to. And she started to move real strange. So in the process of her moving strange, it became stranger and stranger, worse and worse. So I said, damn, I got to see what's going on. What the hell is going on? I started to do my research. As I did my research, I found out she was cheating with the lame. So once I find out, I brings it to her attention. I said, mind you, I didn't knock him out because he slept with my wife. Like I told y'all before, the reason I knocked him out was because he shook my hand and then slept with my wife. It's a difference.
Now, Papoose has been saying this for a while. I didn't knock him out because he slept with my wife. I knocked him out because he shook my hand and slept with my wife. I got to be honest with you, Papoose. That sounds like a bunch of malarkey to me. Essentially, you knocked him out because he slept with your wife. At the end of the day, now listen, I'm totally against anybody sleeping with someone's wife. if someone's spoken for, if someone's married, you should leave that woman alone. But you know, you guys are not, best friends. You guys didn't grow up together. You guys don't have any type of friendship, any type of kinship together. So I guess he felt like it wasn't a big deal. Like maybe he felt that Remy Ma was a grown woman that could make her own decisions, and if she wanted to cheat, she wanted to cheat. Yeah, so essentially you knocked him out because he was sleeping with your wife. You didn't knock him out because he shook your hand and he slept with your wife. That's cap. You knocked him out because he slept with your wife. Let's just keep it real.
But let me tell y'all this. So I bring it to her attention that I found out that she's sleeping with the lame. She tells me, him? Why him? Why him out of all people?
Now I agree. That sounds like something she would say. That sounds like something she would try to throw him off, try to shoot him off into another direction. That does sound like something she would say to him.
Not goods, not hitman. My word is my bond is my life. I should give my life before my word shall fail. This was her exact words. Him? Why would I deal with him? I said, Rem, I know you're dealing with the lame. I know it. First and foremost, how it first fell on my radar that she was cheating with the nigga, he was running his mouth and it came back to me. He said, yo, Pat, this nigga out here telling niggas he fucking your wife. I said, word. So I did a little bit more.
I need y'all to hit that like button. We got 10 people in the building. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We got 10 people in the building right now. Let's get back into it.
Research, connect a couple more dots. I finds out. She tells me this. Okay, I finds out. Mind you, it's not the first time she cheated. You know what I mean?
This is not the first time she cheated? Whoa. How many times has Remy Ma cheated on you? Respectfully. Now, I'm not even trying to clown Pap, but I want to know how many times did you allow this woman to cheat now? Because this is opening up more questions for me. Because I'm thinking like this is like the first time. This has never happened before. This is the first time she stepped out on you. Now I'm learning that this is not the first time.
I mean, I continued the marriage because I live by my wedding vow. I try to live by my wedding vows.
That's respectable. Okay.
Rich for poor, sick and for health.
That's respectable. But I mean, gotta be honest, most men, if a woman cheats, I mean, they kind of throw that out the window. I'm be honest with you. If a woman cheats, most men they throwing it out the window. But I respect, anybody that respects the wedding vows. I respect that.
Sickness and health, you know what I'm saying? Better for worse, or death do us part. So you try to work through things. Okay. Anybody out there who's married, y'all understand.
Okay.
So I found out she cheating with the lame. I bring it to her attention. Of course, we have an altercation, like basically argument back and forth or whatever transpired, right? Okay. She decides, and I decide that we're going to go to therapy, but she brings it to my attention, to be honest.
Come on, Pat. The Bronx women don't believe in no therapy. Therapy for a Bronx chick is smoking an eighth of sour D's and drinking a pint of Hennessy. That's therapy for a Bronx chick. Getting smashed out in the project hallways. An eighth of some sour D's and a pint of Hennessy. That's their therapy. Bronx chicks, they don't believe in no therapy. Come on, Pap. You know that. Bronx women they don't believe in no therapy. I'm just keeping it real. Bronx women don't believe in no damn therapy.
She said, I think we should do therapy. I said, okay. Even though I'm private and I don't like to speak to people about my personal business, that was a very, very difficult thing for me to do. But I said, you know what? Let's do the therapy. We go to the therapist. The therapist's first question is, do you guys want a divorce or do y'all want to work it out? Me and her both said we want to work it out. So when she comes on live and say, we haven't slept in the bed since 2022, and to make it seem like and fabricate a story like we had some agreement. You such a liar. There was no agreement. When I found out you was with the lame, you denied it. You shitted on him. Basically said, yo, why would I be with him? Why do you think I would be with him? And then you wanted to go to therapy. So check it out now. Check it out. So when we go to therapy, the therapist says, do y'all want to get a divorce or do y'all want to work it out? Me and her both said we want to work it out. I'm going to be honest. Because honestly, I didn't want to not live under the same roof as my 5-year-old. I love all my kids the same, but as
BX Mel says therapy is going to boost from the retail store. Yeah, man.
when you have
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
children, and everyone knows that about me. Everybody who know me, y'all know my character. Y'all know her character. Very rude, very disrespectful.
I agree. She is definitely a rude, nasty Bronx chick. You know, she's a ruthless Bronx chick. I will admit to that. She's a ruthless Bronx chick.
Not just to me, to everyone. But that speaks volumes. I didn't want to we planned to raise her with both parents. That was the plan. So I did not want to not live under the same roof with my little girl. I was there from the moment she came out of the womb, and I intended, and I always told her, I want to be there to the moment we take her to her prom. So when she graduates high school, college, get her degrees, I want to be there to take my daughter to her prom. And I told her that.
That's respectable.
So
it's respectable.
I never wanted to leave from under the roof.
We got 14 people in the building. I need you to hit that like button.
You don't find that suspicious?
Hit that subscribe button.
You don't find that suspicious?
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're talking about Poose and Remy Ma. What happened to Black Love? We're going to talk about it tonight. Let's get into it.
For my baby. That's why I stayed around for this nonsense. And I don't want to go away from the point. Okay, so we did the therapy.
Mm-hmm.
The therapist gave us that option. We both said we want to work it out. She said, this is the plan. I'm going to give y'all a plan to work it out.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Pat, because like I told y'all previously, once I seen that she was cheating, like she was moving real strange, I'm talking about leaving for hours at a time. Every time
You can't trust no Bronx chick leaving for hours. If you're dating a girl from the Bronx, and let's say you guys are living together, and she, leaves for hours on end on a late night, like a Friday, Saturday night, you need to pack your things and go. By the time she gets there, by the time she gets back there, all of your things should be gone. Let that woman go on with her life. You can't be wifing up these Bronx chicks. I'm going to be honest with you. You got to leave these Bronx chicks alone, bro. You got to leave these Bronx chicks alone. I'm just keeping it real. And I don't think, and listen, I rock with Poose. I really do. I rock with Poose. I do believe Poose is a good dude. And I do think majority of these things, not all of them, but majority of these things are kind of on Remy Ma. It's from what I'm seeing and from what I'm hearing. But I don't think Poose is taking accountability, and I don't think he's taking accountability in saying that, like, yo, bro, this is the girl you chose. You know she had a little nasty, little funky Bronx chick attitude. You was turned on by it. You was turned on by the ruthlessness. You was turned on by the disrespectful nature. You was turned on by her lacing up to her Timberland boots, sucking her teeth, talking reckless, talking like a plumber or a mechanic to you. You was in love with it. You was in love with it, and then when it finally got turned on you, that's when things went bad. And I don't think Papo was taking accountability on that. You could have found a nice sweetheart from Brooklyn, or a nice chill girl from Queens. You could have found a nice little uptown girl from Manhattan that was a sweetheart and a good girl. You decided to, wife up some hood rat from the project buildings of the Bronx. Respectfully, and I think that Papoose is not taking accountability on the woman he fell in love with. He fell in love with this disrespectful woman. Let's continue.
Questioned that it was a lie, just strange behavior. So once I noticed that she was moving strange, I started to do my research. So the therapist said, because she told the therapist, mind you, she got all these lies to y'all about me. The only thing she told the therapist was, oh, he doesn't trust me. He's going to keep looking behind me and trying to,
Who would trust Remy Ma? I wouldn't trust Remy Ma. Didn't Remy Ma shoot her friend over $1,000? I'm not trusting no bitch that's going to shoot her friend over $1,000 over a rack. I mean, damn, Remy Ma, you could have got your friend a job and she could have paid you back. She shot her friend over $1,000. I'm not trusting a woman that shot her friend over $1,000. You shoot somebody over $1,000, you willing to do anything. You willing to do anything. You shoot somebody over $1,000. I can't trust you.
Find out what I'm doing. But the only reason why I was looking behind her is because she was moving strange.
I agree.
So I agreed to, not show distrust or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the therapist told her, Remy, since you're saying that it's only business with this dude moving forward, but y'all have a last event coming up, after this event, you're going to cut all ties with this individual. This is what the therapist said. She said, Pap.
Hold on. BX Mel says, exactly. Brooklyn women just as trifling. And don't get me started on Yonkers women. Having a discussion about New York women. Listen, I think, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I think when it comes to the boroughs, I'm going to say Queens girls are number one. In terms of if you're gonna wife a New York girl, this is my ranking. If you're gonna wife a New York girl, this is my ranking. I'm gonna go Queens number one. I'm gonna go Manhattan number two. So I'm gonna go Queens 1, Manhattan number 2. I'm gonna go Brooklyn 3. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go Brooklyn 3. I've met some nice girls from Brooklyn, bro. Don't get me wrong. They got some hood rats. They got some rough girls in Brooklyn too. I'm not gonna lie. I think they got rough girls in Brooklyn that could go toe to toe with girls from the Bronx. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna be honest, yes. But I think that they also have a lot of good girls in Brooklyn as well. So I'm gonna go Brooklyn 3. I'm gonna go Staten Island 4, then I'm gonna go Bronx 5. I'm gonna be honest with you. In terms of women that you can build something with, in terms of women you could build something with, that would be my ranking. I will go Queens, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Staten Island, and I will go Bronx the last. Yeah, that would be my ranking if I had to do a ranking. PXML says Harlem women are cool. Yeah, man. Let's get back into the content though. Let's get back into it. But yeah, that would be my ranking.
I told Rim back then, before I even clipped him, I said, when I catch son, I'm putting him down. He violated, you know what I'm saying? And what I noticed, when I found out, I noticed that every time me and her stepped out and made an appearance, he'd go post on his gram, do little sucker shit. He'll go make a post on his story about us. So I'm watching this. Mind you, y'all, I'm not saying nothing the whole time. I know this nigga sleeping with my wife, but I ain't saying nothing.
That's crazy.
Feel me? I'm like, I'm gonna be quiet. I ain't saying nothing. Son doing sucker shit on the gram. That's cool. I ain't paying that no mind. We go to therapy. The therapist come up with the plan. We put the plan together. The therapist said she has this event coming up at Sony Hall, which was the battle between him and Hitman.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you can go to the event, right? But don't don't knock him, don't do nothing to this individual. She said, I said, I'm gonna go to the event, I'm gonna fall back, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do nothing. After the event, she's supposed to leave the dude alone, right? I go to the hold on a second, man. Give me 1 second. Matter of fact, I know what I'm gonna do. 1 second. 1 second.
All right. Well, I think he said more on it. I mean, he got 2 more lives here. We may not be able to get through all these lives tonight, because this, what is it, like? It's two going on 3. Yeah, but I may do a part 2 to this this whole Remy Ma Poose thing, because there's a lot more to get to, but it's getting late. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Let me see. Let me just go back to what Remy Ma said, because Remy Ma did do a rebuttal. She did do a rebuttal to that. Yeah, let me get to her rebuttal real quick. I'm not gonna play her full rebuttal, because I know this woman could probably be really long-winded. I don't want to listen to her yap.
Come on. Woo.
What you doing there? You live?
Oh, I'm never posting nothing because people don't understand. When I type shit out and when I write shit,
you cursing already too much for me. 3 o'clock in the morning, you're cursing, you're smacking your gums, you got this big ass Yankee cap on your head. This woman is she's getting on my nerves already, man. She's getting on my nerves already. It's almost 3 too. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm kind of tired. Listen, y'all, because I mean, I'm sorry. We did start kind of late. I wish I would have started around 12 on the dot. Listen, I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna pick up on this tomorrow. We'll probably do a part 2 of this tomorrow at some point. We'll see how that works out. This is an interesting story though. Yeah, we'll pick up on this tomorrow. Salute to all the mods. Salute to FBA. Better known as Master I Self. Salute to him. And salute to BX Mel. Salute to BX Mel. BX Mel, next time you pop out, I'm gonna make you a mod too, because you do be popping out to the lives. So next time I see you, BX Mel, actually I'm gonna do it now. Hold on, I'm gonna make BX Mel a mod. Hold on, because yeah, BX Mel he be showing love. He be popping out. Let me make BX Mel a mod. Standard mod, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, check it right now, BX. Yeah, you should be a mod right now, BX. Yeah. Yeah, you should have a wrench by now. Let me see what she's saying before we close. Let me see what she's saying.
I am live as we speak. When I type things in, people don't understand. Turn that camera on, ugly, and tell your lies.
Now she's the man she has been married to for 20 years. She's calling him ugly now. Yeah, salute to BX Mel. Yeah, I see you got the wrench. There you go. Salute to BX Mel. You got the wrench. Let me see what she's saying on here for a little bit.
Don't type your lies. Tell them. Speak. While people talking to you and you reading comments, you can't keep up with them if you do that, right? I'll wait. Because I've been sitting by my phone all fucking day because I know you can't take the L. You can't take the public.
Yeah, she's feeling herself. You know, she got her body done. She got some new teeth and she's feeling herself. Can we call a spade a spade? Can we call a spade? I see what's happening here. Remy Ma, she did some prison time. You know, she probably getting her juice box snatched from her when she was doing time. You know, she's probably giving up the nappy dugout to some butch bull dagger in the bullpens. You know, teeth was all messed up, and you know she was doing hard time. You know, after Papoose done held her down for 15 years or however long she was in jail for, you know, she got out of jail. She got a little bit of money, got her teeth done, got her body done. And she's feeling herself. That's what I'm saying. She's feeling herself. She is feeling herself.
The public people not on your dick. You can't take that, right? Every time you come up, mentions me, says in
yeah, I'm gonna pick up with this tomorrow. I don't want to hear this woman's voice. It's late. Listen, salute to all the mods, salute to BX Mel, salute to Master Ourself, salute to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for popping out. We're gonna pick up this tomorrow. We'll probably get into the Diddy Kid Cudi thing tomorrow. That was a crazy testimonial he did. We'll probably get into that tomorrow. But listen, guys, y'all have a good one. Y'all have a good Friday. You have a good night. And I'll see you guys possibly tomorrow. We'll do a live stream. Y'all have a good one, man. We are out. Toodles.
Repping the road, pouring dollars on my neck and they toes. These studies announce me, honestly, put the seat back in